Some girl on my team in Delta Zone jacked a Star of Africa right from under my nose. So I immediately added her as friend. After laying it on thick for months, I finally got her to be my girlfriend. We were inseparable in the game every day. On Discord, we were constantly messaging, things heating up more and more. The moment we agreed to meet up in person, the night she flew all the way to my city, I hit the block button. You think you can steal my love? Let's see how you like a taste of pure, soul-crushing despair. 1. Babe, can I kiss you when we meet? I read the message and typed back, of course. Then I immediately blocked her number. Oh, quiche. Did she really think this was a real relationship? A woman would only slow down my movements. I slammed a bowl of instant ramen and logged on. The damn total trash map. I'm hitting the Aero Complex hard tonight. Why the ramen, you ask? Not important. What's important is hitting the Aero Complex. As soon as I was online, my in-game DMs were already flooded with messages from her. Right, I'd forgotten to unfriend her in the game. I opened the chat. It was all a stream of why did you block me? And please add me back. Babe, what happened? Why did you block me? What did I do to make you upset? I'm at a LAN cafe near the airport right now. Are you really going to leave me here all alone? I let out a small laugh. So now she plays the victim. Did she think about my feelings when she was pocketing my Star of Africa? I clicked open the chat box and fired back a reply. Remember the first time we met? Seeing I'd responded, she was clearly thrilled, her reply coming back instantly. Of course I do. You even gave me a Star of Africa. Gave? I scoffed. No, you got on voice chat, said you'd never seen a Star of Africa before, and asked if you could just see it. Back then, I was charmed by her voice. I figured, she's a girl, what's the harm? Thinking back, the ones with the sweet voices are always the most conniving. You can't trust them, but I was young and dumb, so I dropped the Star of Africa on the ground like an idiot. You begged me to let you look at it. After I showed it to you, you never gave it back. You called it a gift. Huh? I thought you were giving it to me. I didn't really think about it. Her words set me off. Back then, I was a fresh scob, a bottom feeder who survived on scraps, running from every fight. Do you have any idea how exciting it is to find a Star of Africa for the first time? I asked for it back. You refused. She went silent. Feeling guilty, are we? After a long pause, a new message popped up. Is it really because of that? You're gonna ghost me over something so small? Yep, that's exactly why. After all, the only reason I ever added you was for this exact moment. For my revenge. With that, I blocked her in the game too. Finally, I could breathe again. Totally worth the 6-month-long con. 2. The next day at work, the office was buzzing. Everyone was whispering in their little groups. I was nursing a pair of dark circles under my eyes, still drowning in regret. I'm such an idiot. Why did I run a Tier 6 kit into the Aero Complex? Might as well have just gift-wrapped my gear for someone else. Now I have to pay some guy to grind for halves again. What's going on? I asked, opening my thermos and adding some ginseng to my tea. Once you hit 25, your body just starts getting up on you. The CEO's daughter is taking over our division. She's been working abroad, but today is her first day here. A colleague whispered to me. He was clearly on edge. I thought it was something serious. It's just the boss's daughter. In this economy, who doesn't have a connection? The CEO is my best friend's dad. Do I go around bragging about it? I always knew Leo had a sister, but they didn't get along and barely spoke, so I never knew much about it. It's no big deal. It's not like it'll affect us grunts at the bottom, I said, during my lunch break. I placed an order for another 30 million halves, already dreaming of my glorious raids after work. But just as I was about to clock out, I was told I had to work overtime. And get this, I was the only one in the entire department who had to stay. Seriously? As an event planner, yeah, we have a few projects in pipeline, but nothing that warrants pulling an all-nighter. It was Ms. Winter's request. She specifically asked for you to stay. She said your team's proposal wasn't detailed enough, and that you need to flesh it out. The assistant who gave me the news added the last part apologetically. Damn corporate overlords. All they know is how to squeeze every last drop out of their underpaid workers. I started venting to the assistant. A boss who makes their employees work late like this has to be one of those old, single women with no social life. Probably messes with their hormones, gives them acne. They get their kicks from torturing their employees because their own lives are so empty. She might be Leo's sister, but if she gets between me and my gaming time, I'll trash talk her all the same. The assistant coughed loudly. You okay? Catching a cold? I asked. Just then a cool, crisp voice came from right behind me. That hormonally imbalanced, acne-faced woman you were just describing. Are you referring to me? 3. Oh crap. It finally happened. My superpower is talking smack about someone right before they walk up behind me. Works every time. I spun around and saw a stunningly beautiful face. I'd seen Leo's sister before. Our families were close, and we even played together as kids. But we lost touch after middle school. I spent all my time hanging out with Leo. After graduation, I didn't want to go home and listen to my parents lecture me. So I took a job at Leo's dad's company. I'd only seen his sister a handful of times since we grew up, but that didn't stop me from recognizing her instantly. Chloe, I said, my entire demeanor shifting in a split second. My face was a mask of pure reverence. What brings you here? I even used my most polite, formal tone. Chloe Winters let out a soft, sharp huff. In the office, you will use my title. Right. Ms. Winters. How could I possibly be talking about you? I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. If I had a picture of you, I'd probably have it framed in my apartment. I heard someone make a sound of disgust and saw the assistant giving me a look of complete contempt, as if to say, what happened to that rebellious attitude from 2 seconds ago? Oh, a faint, cold smile still played on Chloe's lips. Then who, exactly, were you talking about? Damn it, playing dumb wasn't going to get me out of this. I scrambled for an excuse. I was talking about this person I know from a game. Total freeloader. Try to get me to meet up with her in real life. Talk about punching above your weight. You could just tell she's some desperate old hag, starved for attention. I am a genius. For some reason, though, in that split second, I felt the look Chloe gave me grow even colder. The hint of a smile, she had vanished, replaced by a glacial mask. I want 5 new proposals on my desk by morning. Don't even think about leaving until they're done. I'll be right here, watching. Without another word, she turned and walked back in her office. I turned to the assistant. Did I say something wrong? She just rolled her eyes at me. How should I know? 4. I didn't finish the proposals until after 10. When I walked into Chloe's office, I saw her reflection in a glass partition. It looked like she was playing Delta Zone. But the instant I knocked, she alt-tabbed to a spreadsheet. She didn't even glance at the proposals I handed her. Of course, the old hag was just getting revenge on me for talking behind her back. So, Ms. Winters, am I free to go now? The next thing I knew, Chloe was in my car. She said it was late and that I should give her a ride. So, Ms. Winters, where to? I could drop you off. Chloe gave me an address for a hotel near the airport. I just got in yesterday. I haven't found a place to live yet. So, just take me to the hotel for now. After I dropped her off and was about to leave, she called out to me again. I forgot to book a room for tonight. They're completely full. She looked at me. I looked at her. The silence stretched, thick with awkwardness. I cleared my throat. Well, you could. Crash at my place for the night. I was just being polite. She was my best friend's sister, after all. I didn't think anything of it. But to my surprise, the moment the words left my mouth, Chloe immediately said, "Okay, help me with my luggage." As I drove, I could feel a pair of eyes on me from the back seat, and the atmosphere in the car was heavy. I forced a laugh, trying to break the tension. Ms. Winters, I couldn't help but notice. You play Delta Zone, right? We should add each other, play together sometime. I distinctly felt Chloe let out a cold snort from the back. Are you sure you want to add me? I paused, remembering how I'd donated a full kit of top-tier gear to some random player this last night. Yeah, maybe not. I quickly changed the subject. So, what's with the sudden trip, Ms. Winters? Didn't even have a place booked. Why didn't you tell Leo you were coming? I could have helped you find a place ahead of time. Chloe just grunted, then said flatly, "Had to. I ran into a real jerk." Great. Now I had no idea how to respond to that. The atmosphere got even more awkward, but Chloe didn't seem to care and kept going. I was supposed to meet my boyfriend here, but as soon as I landed, he just vanished. I can't get in touch with him, so I had to get a hotel. Wow, that's a seriously scummy move. Who would dare do that to you, Ms. Winters? Don't let me find out who he is. I'm pretty sure I heard her laugh coldly. And what would you do if you found out? Huh? This is what I get for trying to be polite. I had to double down. If I find out who it is, I'll beat the crap out of him. I'll show him why the sky is blue. Nobody messes with my boss. Ethan Hayes, the Ryan Gosling of Denver, won't stand for it. From the back seat, Chloe actually laughed. Then she said softly, "We'll see." 5. Luckily, my place was big enough to give Chloe her own room. By the time we got everything settled, it was almost midnight. I was about to crash when I got a message from Leo. "How's it going with my sister?" Just seeing his name annoyed me. Ever since he got a girlfriend, I barely saw him. He wasn't even online anymore. He probably only messaged me because he knew his sister was at the company now, just showing up to gloat at my misery. I sent back an eye roll emoji. "Don't even ask. Your sister's been running me ragged all day." Leo immediately sent back a smirking emoji. A young man needs to learn some self-control. What self-control, my ass? Not only did I have to work overtime, but I also had to play chauffeur, and now he's making it sound all shady. I sent him another eye roll emoji just as I heard Chloe's voice from the bathroom. "Ethan, can you grab my slippers for me?" I grumbled under my breath, but still went to her room and opened her suitcase like she'd asked. It was stuffed with a chaotic mix of colorful clothes. A few lacy-looking camisoles were particularly noticeable. I cleared my throat. After digging around for a while, I finally found her slippers. Chloe came out of the bathroom in a set of pink pajamas. The pajamas were loose, giving her a slightly lazy and leisurely look. Her face was flushed, probably from a hot shower. Her lips were a soft, rosy pink and stood out even more. Chloe was already gorgeous, and for a second, I was completely mesmerized. I just stared. "Like what you see?" Chloe's sudden voice snapped me out of it. I wasn't looking." "Oh, really? Then do you think my legs are long?" "They're pretty long." "See, so you were looking." I could hear the disdain in her voice. I sheepishly looked away. Looking doesn't hurt anyone. "What did you say?" "Nothing." 5. Couldn't. It seemed like Chloe had no intention of leaving. After several days, she still hadn't made any move to find her own place. I had to try a more subtle approach. "Ms. Winters, have you been too busy lately? Do you need me to help you look for an apartment?" She looked up at me. "Are you in that much of a hurry to get rid of me?" It wasn't that. It was just, I couldn't play my game if she was here. My PC setup is in the living room. I hadn't dared to even turn it on since she arrived. But I couldn't let her know that was the reason. So I put on a friendly smile. "Of course not." "Good. Then I'll just stay here for now. Consider it back rent for all the times you stayed at my family's house." When we were in school, my parents traveled a lot for work, so I did end up crashing at Leo's place pretty often. I was stumped. I had no comeback for that. "Phoenix, I guess I'll move my PC into my bedroom tonight." That afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. When I answered, a pleasant voice came through the line. "So, are you going to hand me back now?" The voice sounded familiar, like I'd heard it somewhere before. I thought for a moment, then asked hesitantly. "Luna." Luna was the in-game name of the online girlfriend I'd blocked. She hummed in confirmation. I sighed. "I told you, we're done. Don't contact me again." "Are you sure?" Her voice seemed to change, maybe out of anger. That tone, it also sounded really familiar, but I brushed it off. "Of course I'm sure. Goodbye." I hung up and immediately blocked the number. What can I say? I hold a grudge. That night, just as I finished moving my PC into my room, I heard the electronic lock on the front door beep with an error. I opened the door to find Chloe standing there. It looked like she'd had a lot to drink. She couldn't even get the keypad code right after several tries. The moment I opened the door, she stumbled and fell into my arms. A light, fresh scent mixed with the smell of alcohol filled my nose. "Babe, babe," she mumbled, her tone soft and almost like she was pouting. She was a completely different person from the one I saw during the day. Even her voice sounded sweeter. I froze, not daring to move. "Ms. Winters?" "Chloe," I whispered. She didn't answer. Instead, her arms tightened around me. I had no idea how much she'd had to drink. I managed to half carry her to her room and lay her on the bed. I got a warm towel to wipe her face and poured her a glass of water. Just as I was about to leave, she grabbed my hand. Her grip was tight. I tried a few times to pull my hand away, but I couldn't. I sat on the edge of the bed. This was the first time I'd ever looked at Chloe this closely. Her eyes were shut tight, her brow furrowed. Half of her lipstick was gone, but her lips were still a vibrant red. Looking at those lips, I felt a strange impulse to lean in closer. I immediately shook my head. What the hell is wrong with me? Chloe's arms were wrapped around me. I could feel the soft warmth of her skin. Then, she slid her hands up in my arm and wrapped them around me. I lost my balance and tumbled onto the bed. She held me tightly, burying her face in my shoulder. My hands hovered awkwardly in the air, unsure where to put them. I could feel my own blood rushing. I mean, I'm a normal guy. What red-blooded American male could pass a test like this? Just as I was thinking that, I heard Chloe whisper in my ear, "Can we get back together? Please don't ignore me anymore." Her voice was choked with emotion, on the verge of tears. It was like a bucket of ice water had been dumped over me. The heat I'd felt just a second ago vanished. She has a boyfriend. He might be a jerk, but that has nothing to do with me. What was I just thinking? Looking at Chloe's worried expression, I reached out and smoothed her brow. "Okay," I whispered in her ear. As if she'd heard me, a faint smile appeared on her face, even in her sleep. The tension in her forehead seemed to melt away. Her grip on me loosened. I quickly pulled myself free and tucked her under the covers. Before I left, I hesitated for a moment, then took off her jacket. Don't get the wrong idea. I just figured she'd sleep more comfortably that way. 6. The next day was Saturday. I was in my room, gaming. Leo, in a rare appearance, was actually online. He was using a voice changer, pretending to be a cute girl. I heard my door open. Chloe was standing there. She glanced at me, then her eyes swept over my monitor. "You should knock before you enter a room, you know? There's food in the microwave. After you eat, I was thinking I could take you to look at some apartments." I didn't turn around, focusing on looting. Leo's modified, sultry voice came through my headphones. "Ethan, sweetie, if you find any fuel cans, you have to give them to me, okay? I just need one more to upgrade my stash." A shiver of disgust went down my spine. This sicko was enjoying this way too much. "Sure thing," I said into my mic. "Just remember to call me Daddy next time." I glanced back and saw Chloe was still standing in the doorway, staring at me, her eyes like ice. "What's up? You need something else?" "Who are you playing with?" she asked coldly, her voice laced with accusation. I was about to say, "Your brother," but then I remembered that Leo and his sister didn't get along. If she found out he was using a voice changer to play games, how humiliating would that be for him? I had to come up with a lie. "My girlfriend. We're playing together." Pretty nice voice, right? I felt Chloe's expression darken instantly. "Girlfriend?" she repeated. "Yeah, this round's almost over. I'll be out in a minute." "Huh, take your time." Chloe sneered, then turned and left my room. I heard the front door slam shut. When I went out to look, Chloe was gone. What was that all about? So random. I went back to my room. "What happened? You went AFK?" Leo asked. I couldn't exactly say. "Your sister, who's living with me, just had a weird fit and stormed out." So I just said, "It was nothing." By 10 o'clock that night, Chloe still hadn't come back. Her clothes and everything were still in her room. I started to get a little worried. That's when I realized I didn't even have her number. I had no way to contact her. I quickly called Leo. "Hey, send me your sister's number." Leo's tone on the other end was strange. "You're asking me for my sister's number?" Thinking about it, it did sound a little weird, asking for his sister's number late at night. Did you and my sister get into a fight? Did you delete her number? Or did she block you? Well, that's just how she is. Let me call her first and see what's up. We didn't really have a fight. I replayed the day's events in my head. I hadn't done anything wrong. Could it be because of what happened last night, when she was drunk? Was she angry about that? But that wasn't my fault. She's the one who initiated it. A few minutes later, Leo called me back. "Dude, what the hell, Ethan? You're with my sister, and you're still messing around with other girls? You're a damn cheater. No wonder my sister's pissed." His voice was filled with contempt. So Chloe told him she was staying with me. "But you've got some nerve," I thought. "I was covering for you. Besides, what does any of this have to do with his sister?" I didn't get what he was talking about. Leo continued. "My sister is sitting in the convenience store downstairs from your apartment right now. You need to go find her, and don't tell her I told you. This is all I can do for you, bro." Something felt off, but I didn't dwell on it. Chloe was at the 24-hour convenience store nearby, just sitting there, staring out the window. The moment she saw me, her eyes turned red and welled up with tears. Then she immediately turned and walked away. "Chloe," I said, hurrying after her. Seeing me follow, she picked up her pace. "Slow down, you're going to fall." The words were barely out of my mouth when I heard her cry out. It looked like she tripped on something, and she went down hard. I rushed forward to help, but she shoved my hand away. She tried to get up on her own, but it looked like she twisted her ankle. She let out a pain grunt and couldn't stand. I tried to help her again, and again she pushed me away. An angry woman is harder to handle than a wild boar, and I still had no idea why she was angry. Chloe, what is wrong with you? Can't we just talk about this? What's wrong with me? You don't know. Her voice was cold, but it trembled slightly. It sounded like she was about to cry. What did I ever do to deserve this? I had no idea what was going on. Who was that girl you were playing with today? I was stunned. That's it? That's what this is about. I honestly couldn't understand why she was so upset about it. But I knew one thing. This was not the time to argue with a woman about logic. It didn't matter if I'd done anything or not. At this moment, I was definitely in the wrong. So I started explaining. That was your brother. He was using a voice changer. Chloe's expression softened a little, but she still didn't say anything. Chloe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just go back home first. We can talk about whatever it is when we get there. Then tell me what you're sorry for. The classic trick question. How the hell should I know what I did wrong? For not telling her that her brother is a weirdo? I started to get a little frustrated too. This whole day had been bizarre. I stepped forward, sliding one arm under her legs and the other behind her neck. Chloe wasn't heavy. I lifted her into a princess carry with ease. She started to struggle, but I said in a firm voice, "Don't move." I don't know if it was my tone that scared her, but Chloe went still. I carried her back to the apartment and set her down on the sofa. I found some muscle spray in the first aid kit, sprayed her ankle, and then began to gently massage the area. For the record, I'm not trying to take advantage of you. It's late. We'll use this for now, and if it still hurts tomorrow, we'll go to the hospital. She didn't say anything, but when I looked up, I found Chloe staring at me, her expression dazed. She looked so vulnerable right then, like a wounded kitten. I felt a stir inside me. Damn it, must be that time of year again. But then I remembered. She has a boyfriend. From the way she was acting last night, she must really like him. What am I thinking? She's just my friend's sister. She's my boss. Don't be stupid. 7. Chloe tried to stand up, but as soon as she put weight on her foot, she hissed in pain. Her brow furrowed, and she sat back down. It was clear she was in a lot of pain. I'll carry you to your room. We should probably get you to a doctor tomorrow. A rare blush appeared on Chloe's cheeks. She mumbled something. What was that? I asked. I have to go to the bathroom, she said, her voice getting quieter until it was barely a whisper. I pick her up. Chloe let out a small yelp and grabbed onto my shirt. I set her down on the toilet and then left. But as soon as I was out the door, she called me back. She looked at me, her face a picture of embarrassment. I can't get any leverage. My pants. I can't pull them down. The atmosphere instantly became monumentally awkward. You stepped ahead. She stared at me. I was the one who finally broke the silence. You want me to help you with that? Chloe turned her head away, her expression a complex mix of emotions. The awkwardness returned, thicker than before. After a moment, her face bright red, she said, "Can you just help me? I really have to go." And she looked me straight in the eye. "But you're not allowed to look." Fine. I'll close my eyes. I moved forward, shut my eyes, and fumbled around blindly. Where are you touching? Saw the, my back. In the end, I might have accidentally snuck a peek. Wow. I put Chloe back in her bed. Her face was still bright red. She just looked at me without saying a word. I'll sleep on the couch tonight. If you need anything, just call me. She grunted in response, the sound barely audible. The next morning, I woke up to find Chloe already awake. She was sitting on the edge of the sofa, just quietly watching me. "You're up? How's your foot?" "It's better. Not as bad as yesterday. I can walk on it a little now." She seemed to be in a good mood today. I nodded. "I'll call you Mom later. With your foot like this, you'll need a proper caretaker. And you really need to find your own place." As I spoke, the smile on Chloe's face faded, and her expression turned cold again. "You're really in that much of a hurry to get rid of me?" She looked at me, her words slow and deliberate. "That's not it. It's just, we're a man and a woman living together. You saw what happened yesterday. So you saw, you touched, you carry me around. And now that you've had your fun, you're not going to take responsibility?" Huh, I was completely blindsided. That was a special circumstance. I tried to explain. "Do you have to be like this with me?" I could hear the change in Chloe's voice. It was filled with hurt. "No, it's not that. You have a boyfriend, don't you? It's not right for us to be living together like this. I finally said what I was thinking. I saw Chloe let out a cold laugh. My boyfriend. If you hadn't brought him up, I would have almost forgotten. She took out her phone and gestured for me to unlock mine. As I watched, she went into my blocked list and unblocked someone named Luna. I looked at her, confused. Then I watched as she opened her own phone and logged into Discord. And there it was, at the top of her chat list. The name Luna, with the same profile picture. It took me a second to process it. You're Luna? You're my online girlfriend from the game? Chloe snorted. Keep pretending. Don't tell me you didn't know this whole time. But the thing is, I really didn't know. My brother was the one who invited me to play with you guys. Didn't he tell you? And then I remembered. Leo was the one who had invited her to our squad in the game. But he never told me it was his sister. Inviting a random person to play is completely normal, right? We stared at each other. The room was silent again. Then I saw Chloe, who was sitting next to me, lean in closer and closer until her face was right in front of mine. The rest of the text, from the kiss to the end, has been adapted and included in the following continuous narrative. I woke up from a nap that afternoon feeling completely dazed. I think I had a dream. A dream where my best friend's sister turned out to be the online girlfriend I'd brutally ghosted. I opened my eyes and found myself still on the living room couch. Nearby, Chloe was staring intently at the TV, playing Pokemon. A jolt went through me. My foggy brain instantly snapped into focus. It wasn't a dream. Have you eaten? I asked, my voice cracking with awkwardness. Chloe shot me a glare. You have a nerve to ask me that? Did you forget you have an injured person in your house? I gave her a sheepish grin. Sorry, just woke up. Still a little out of it. My memory's shot. She didn't say anything else, just sat there, quietly watching me. Then she spoke, her voice flat. What? Are you going to pretend you have amnesia now? So you don't have to take responsibility? Her tone was calm, but I suddenly felt a cold sweat break out on my back. I had been about to get up, but I froze. I licked my lips. The memory of the soft warmth from that morning was still there. I felt a blush creep up my neck and quickly changed the subject. I'll go make us something to eat right now. You just wait here. I'll be right back. I then skillfully prepared 2 packages of instant ramen. Sorry, I said, embarrassed. This is all I have in the house right now. You'll have to make do. Chloe ate her ramen in silence. Then she looked up and just stared at me again. What? Is there something on my face? No, I just want to make sure I remember what this jerk's face looks like. Chloe huffed and went back to her food. I called Chloe's family. Her foot was injured, and it really wasn't practical for her to keep staying with me. That same day, Leo and their parents drove over from the next city. They set Chloe up in a new apartment and hired a caretaker for her. Leo kept winking at me and making faces behind his parents' backs. His mom was polite enough, but I felt like his dad was looking at me differently. He put a hand on my shoulder and said in a meaningful tone, Ethan, I've watched you grow up. She's my only daughter. Leo, making things worse as always, chimed in, Don't worry, brother-in-law. We'll send my sister back to you in a few days. I coughed, tried to explain that nothing had happened between us. It wasn't what they were thinking. You've all misunderstood. I turned my head and saw Chloe staring at me. Her eyes narrowed, as if to say, Choose your next words very carefully. Hi, brother-in-law. Leo called out again as they left. Chloe's expression didn't change. She just turned and, with her parents' help, got into the car. The inevitable finally happened. My family opened a branch of their company here in Denver. They wanted me to come back and help run it. I had to quit my job. Chloe sent me a message. Ethan, let's go see a movie. It was followed by a screenshot of 2 tickets. Things at the new company were hectic. I didn't finish up with work until 9 that night. When I finally checked my phone, I saw Chloe's message. It had been sent 5 hours ago. I'm so sorry. Something came up. I just saw this. No reply. Where are you now? I'll come find you. Still nothing. I tried calling her. The phone rang, but no one picked up. I called Leo. My sister? You don't know where she is, and you're asking me. I called the caretaker at Chloe's new apartment. She said Chloe hadn't come home yet. She didn't go to the mall by herself, did she? It was already 10. Why wasn't she back? Without a second thought, I rushed to the mall where the movie theater was. The mall was closing down for the night. Most of the stores were already dark. I searched everywhere and finally found her near the theater, sitting at one of the small tables. She was just sitting there, staring into space, lost in thought. "Chloe," I said as I walked up to her. She snapped out of her daze and turned around. When she saw it was me, a flicker of joy crossed her face. It was quickly replaced by a look of hurt, and her eyes turned red. "What are you doing here?" "I called your caretaker, and she said you weren't home yet. I was worried, so I came to look for you." "What's there for you to be worried about? It's not like you answer my messages anyway. I'm used to it. This isn't the first time you've disappeared on me." She turned her face away, her expression stubborn. I immediately started apologizing. "I honestly didn't see your message. It was a crazy day at work. I didn't even have time to look at my phone until after 9. The second I saw your message, I came to find you." Chloe's expression softened, but she still said, a little petulantly, "Who asked you to come find me? You could have just left me here like you left me at the airport. I can find a place to stay on my own. I don't need you." The more she spoke, the more upset she got. Tears started to stream down her cheeks. I knew this was one of those things I'd never live down. All I could do was offer a sincere apology. "I was wrong. It won't happen again. Can we please just go home now?" "No." She turned back to look at me. "We haven't seen the movie yet." Then, Chloe launched herself at me. She wrapped her arms around me tightly and sobbed quietly into my shoulder. "Don't ever leave me alone again." "Okay." My heart ached for her. Okay, I said quickly. "I promise I won't." It was after 1 in the morning by the time the movie ended. I was driving Chloe back to her place. In the passenger seat, she said quietly, "It's too late. I'll just stay at your place tonight." "What? Does your new place have a curfew?" Chloe swung a playful fist at me. "You talk too much." Later that night, I was just about to go to sleep when I heard a knock on my bedroom door. I opened it to find Chloe standing there. "Ethan, I can't sleep. Can you stay with me for a little while?" Before I could answer, she took my hand and led me to her room. I sat on the edge of her bed. She was hugging a pillow, just quietly looking at me. The atmosphere became a little awkward. "Ethan, are you tired? You can lie down for a bit if you want." "I'm not that tired." Despite what I said, my body betrayed me, and I lay down on the bed. We were face to face. Out of nowhere, I heard myself say, "Can I hold you?" Chloe didn't say anything. I took that as a yes and boldly wrapped my arms around her. She didn't resist. We just lay there, holding each other in silence. After a while, her voice broke the quiet. "How long are you going to hold me?" "Just a little longer." Chloe huffed. "You're such a liar." "What?" She didn't elaborate. Instead, she shifted, resting her head on my arm to get more comfortable. After a moment, she suddenly lifted her head and leaned in. "Ethan, kiss me." Her expression was hazy, with a hint of wildness. I felt like my own mind was short-circuiting. My reason evaporated. I leaned in to meet her. Ethan used the Pokemon Onyx. Chloe used the Pokemon Clamperl. Onyx used Tackle. It was not very effective. Clamperl used Supersonic. The opponent became confused. Clamperl used Clamp. It was super effective. Onyx used Harden. Its defense greatly rose. Onyx used Rage. Onyx used Dig, storing energy. Clamperl's HP is low. It used Water Gun. Onyx used Iron Tail. Onyx used Double Edge. It was super effective. It was a long night. Chloe and I got engaged. Our families already knew each other, so there were no objections. Everything went smoothly. Leo was his usual smug self, winking at me from across the room. "So how are you going to thank me? You can call me Dad. We can keep it separate from our own family titles." Get lost. The engagement party was full of laughter and conversation. But I couldn't shake the feeling that Chloe's dad was looking at me with a strange, unreadable expression. Even the way he looked at Leo seemed to have grown colder. I carried Chloe on my back up to the second-floor balcony. She giggled behind me. "You can't ever leave me alone again," she said. "I'll get sad, and then I'll hide, and you'll never be able to find me." Okay. I promise I won't." I intertwined my fingers with hers, holding on tight. "After all, you're my wife, and I love you."